Yo, what the hell's up? Welcome back to Reviews with Jake, where I'm here to put what felt like the fastest year ever to bed with the best films of 2021. It seriously feels like just yesterday when I created this new setup back here and I stood in front of this camera for the first time and created the new updated welcome video. Then after that, I had to wait a couple weeks for something actually review worthy to actually get released, like the longest grueling 2 weeks ever. Now here we are, 55 movies and reviews later at the end of the year, tying a bow on it. I mean, like, what a year. 4 Marvel films after we got none last year. We actually got the Snyder Cut. Movie theaters came back in a huge way. I mean, look at Spider-Man Go. I got a new Resident Evil film that was not directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, and I hated it. I gave up my first F not on Resident Evil, although it probably could have been merited. We had a ton of movies that were supposed to come out in 2020 but could not. We had the demand in 2020. 2021, we had the supply. Maybe things will balance out in 2022. Maybe it's, you know, going back to normal. Probably not. But it's been a hell of a ride and I'm excited to see what the next year brings in cinema. But first things first, we gotta give 2021 the Viking funeral that it deserves. Yes, there are a couple massive titles that got released in the last couple weeks, but I warned you of this. I warned you that I would not get to everything. I respect the turn of the year. When 2022 hits, we don't talk about 2021 anymore. It's a clean slate. When you jam a bunch of new releases at the end of 2021, well, someone's getting left behind. Sorry, The Kingsman, I'll probably still watch you and enjoy you, I just won't review you. Sorry, Matrix Resurrections, I was, well, going to watch you, but then I started hearing things and, well, maybe not. On sort of a similar note, and I believe I mentioned this at some point or another, I decided to nix the worst of list and video on this year and moving forward. Less so on the basis of laziness, but more so, I just don't enjoy dunking on movies. Making a movie is really hard. Even the worst movies of all time took a lot of effort to create. If I think a movie's bad, I will speak my mind and get my piece during the review. I don't have to bring it around and punch it in the face again at the end of the year. That just seems like a move. But for the best of list, the really talented filmmakers, actors, creators out there, I feel a-okay. I'm giving them flowers twice in 1 year. I think that's a more positive approach to take. So let's get started. First things first, my 3 honorable mentions: Shang-Chi, Malignant, and Midnight Mass. Yes, I realize I did not review Midnight Mass, but it was too damn good to not at least mention it. Had I actually reviewed it and analyzed it in a formal setting, it would be way higher than an honorable mention, trust me. That series was so damn good and I connected with it on so many different levels, like Mr. Flanagan, take a bow. You are a man and I cannot wait to see what you do with the works of Mr. Poe. Shang-Chi, I mean, come on, the action in that film was so dope and the Mandarin was an awesome villain. If the third act did not faceplant like I thought that it did, this thing could have been way higher than where it is. And almost the complete opposite of that, the third act of Malignant was absurdly awesome. I had so much fun with that movie, way more fun than I thought I was going to have going in. Like, James Wan, you're an amoeba at this point. You can take whatever form you want. It's gonna be great no matter what. All right, and now we are into the official top 5 of 2021, and a drum roll. Number 5, Spider-Man: No Way Home. This film really had no business being as good as it was. Like, if you really take a step back and look at what this film is trying to do, there is no reason to think that it could have actually worked. Sure, at times it feels a little chaotic and silly, but you cannot deny that it is so much fun. And beyond that, it was actually able to conjure up some real feelings and emotions, something I was not expecting to get from a movie this insane. Number 4, Nomadland. About the opposite case on everything when comparing this to Spider-Man. I was anticipating the feels in this one and I got them. This movie is just so simple and minimalistic. It is a raw human emotion story. And the landscapes, the cinematography, I mean, this film was just beautiful through and through. Number 3, Our Friend. The second film that I reviewed this year, and kind of like Nomadland, I knew that the tissues needed to be close for this one. Jason Segel's basically like a Paul Rudd. He's so f***ing likable, and if you put a guy like that into a movie like this, that combination is just unmatchable. It's basically just punching into your chest, pulling out your beating heart like Mortal Kombat. I don't know about you, but I watch movies to feel something, and I watched this movie twice and felt something. Cried, both times. That's right, didn't know you were dealing with a tough guy, did you? Number 2, The Nighthouse. This movie snuck up on me on so many different levels. I was not expecting the production value and cinematography. I was not expecting an A++ acting performance from Rebecca Hall. I was expecting a very cerebral film, but I was not expecting to connect with it as much as I did. I mentioned in my full review that it really reminded me of a film that I made a few years back, obviously a much better version of it. And at the end of the runtime, it cues up some amazing discussion, dissection, analysis. I mean, basically it was this year's relic for me. And now, my #1 favorite film of 2021. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Surprised? Yeah, me too. I absolutely adored this movie. This year we've had movies that made me laugh and then some that made me cry, but none of them made me do both like this movie did. I really loved this movie. The fact that my favorite film of the year was not only an animated film, but a kid's movie, I mean, that's a wild card I did not see coming. But that is just me. What do you guys think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And let me know what your favorite movies were this year, or let me know if there was any that I missed. I mean, I watched and reviewed 55 of them. That wasn't all of them. I bet there's some good stuff that fell between the cracks. My coworker told me that Don't Look Up was great. My parents told me that American Underdog was good. I mean, that's just 2 right there that just got released that I did not review. Who knows what else got past me the past 50-something weeks of the rest of the year? I mean, it definitely happened. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to this channel to stay up to date. New 2022 reviews coming real soon. Have a great new year. Stay safe. Thanks for checking in.